There was a comment that was made on Facebook the other day about being a submissive woman. They were saying that a submissive woman controls her man, and I agree with that. I think until we begin to talk in honesty and transparency and stop pandering to both sides, especially to the sisters, because there is so much entitlement, and because men have been quiet for so long, and it's been the men that has been quiet were the type of men that y'all really need to be listening to. The men that doing the most talking ain't the ones, they don't have nothing to say anyway.
What's good? It's your boy Quay Price, man, holding it down for Candid Konvos. Definitely check us out every Wednesday night, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. People today, they lazy. Ain't nobody trying to put in no work. If stuff start getting a little rough in the relationship or in the marriage, ain't nobody trying to fix nothing. Like, I mean, that's how people's mindsets are today. Yeah, but that's how I know that folks don't truly understand what marriage was about, because they tap out way too easy. Yeah, you see people fight harder for a job, like they can't go get another one of them in 2 weeks. Yeah, she's talking about these guys coming to these foreign countries and sourcing out these foreign women because they possess these character traits. Yep, they're more cooperative when it comes to a man, or they're more cooperative when it comes to a marriage and a relationship. They're more, nurturing forward when it comes to a relationship. They're more I don't even want to use the word soft, but I'll use the word soft. They're softer when it comes to, these relationships and interactions with men and so forth. And like I said, we definitely got to be honest. We see a difference, right? We see a difference. And I think, Chloe and Tay made some good points earlier. A lot of this stuff is based around money over here in the West. What's good? Welcome back to Candid Konvos. I'm your host, Quay Price. We got Coco on deck. Say what's up to the people, Coco.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the show.
Man, welcome back. Man, shout out to y'all for joining us tonight. We appreciate y'all always holding us down every Wednesday night. Do me a favor, if you haven't already, smash that like button. Likes are free. Smash that like button. Yeah, I know anybody on social media, y'all know how this stuff works at this point. So you got to hit them like buttons. You got to share. For all my YouTube folks out there, you got to turn on your notifications. You got to subscribe. Like, y'all all know the game, man. Yeah, we bringing these fire conversations to y'all every Wednesday night consistently. Doing what we do, dropping the gems for the people. So, man, do us that little thing, man. Hit the like button, man. Hit the like button. Quit playing, man. Just hit the like button, man. It's straightforward. Hit the like button for us. All right. So let me do this real quick as we get into this conversation tonight. All right, here's the link right here to join us on the panel. You can drop this in your Google Chrome, your Microsoft Edge. If you're coming through Apple device, come on through your device. But man, join us on the panel, man. Get in on this conversation, man. Like I said, we don't discriminate. Everybody is welcome. So yeah, bring your perspective to the conversation. In addition to the video feed here, we also have this link in the chat feeds. So you can catch this at the Candid Konvos page on YouTube or Facebook. So yeah, man, join us on the panel, man. Don't be scared, man. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. All right, let me see who we got checking in. I'll circle back. Let's see. Shout out to my guy Donovan. He said, hey, hello, what up? He got a whole bunch of them in the recipes. Malcolm, man. Yeah, shout out to Michael Jamal Warner, man. I heard he passed away, man. Yeah, R.I.P. to the brother, man. He was doing big things out here, man. Family man. Wife, daughter. So yeah, shout out to him, man. RIP to him, man. And prayers up to the family, man, for the tragedy, man. I did hear about that. Appreciate you bringing that up, Donovan. Shout out to Kenyatta as well. She said happy Wednesday. What's going on, Kenyatta? Appreciate you hopping on with us tonight as well, holding us down. All right. So yeah, I'll leave this link up here for another 5 seconds, man. And y'all got to get it up out the chat, man. Another 5 seconds. Y'all be scared to get up on this panel, man. All right, I'm dropping it down. Y'all let us know if y'all need it. All right. So I don't know, Coco. You want to get straight to it tonight?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. We're going to get right on to it. All right, topic for tonight. Why can't black people get along? That's an age-old question right there, man. Topic for tonight. Why can't black people get along? Yeah, okay. Well, we got a couple queued up tonight. We got a couple queued up tonight. We're gonna get right on into it. Let's see, if you haven't already, do me a favor. Let's once again smash that like button. Smash that like button for us. Also, my YouTube folks, hit that subscribe. Yeah, a lot of folks who check into the show consistently every Wednesday night are not subscribers. So man, hit that subscribe, man. Do us that little solid, man. Hit the subscribe button for us, man. Hit the subscribe button. All right, we're gonna go and get on into this.
So let me say this. Wow. I mean, how many PlayStations have you brought?
I bought a lot of them, and Xboxes, and GameCubes, and Wii's, all types.
Because you mentioned that with a passion.
Man, look, it's something that we all done went through. We all just don't speak on it.
We
all done dated women with kids, and we all done got the short end of the stick. It's just we all deal with it in different ways. Some of us speak out on it, some of us don't. They always get the bigger end
some
of
the
stick.
stuff that you said, I feel like you're talking out of hurt. That's just me.
I'm talking out of hurt. You see that these men ain't
that's what
disagreeing.
I think.
Then why don't one man disagree with it?
Because you're the only person talking, really.
Do
to be
any
honest.
man disagree with what I have said so far? Speak now. If you do, it's fine.
Hey, don't put me in it.
I said any man.
I'm
staying out the way.
Hey, I'm staying out
the way. I'm staying out the way on that.
You
so yeah, some of it is legit.
If I'm honest,
I'm ready for this.
I'm with him, but I'm not with him. Let me tell you why I'm with him. Some of the things that he's saying makes sense, but I think that when you get with the right woman, you guys communicate, then everything can go the way he's saying.
Love it.
So like I think he's referring to a submissive woman. And I think that you have to communicate with the woman on a certain level to find out if she is submissive, and then he'll get everything he's talking about. But he's not dealing with submissive women. He's just dealing with, I don't know. I'm dealing with women that's manipulative. Like women nowadays, they only want to be submissive when it fits them. They'll be submissive when we going on trips and when I'm paying the rent and whenever their car break down, I'm getting it fixed and whenever everything else is going good. When I tell you don't go to the club, it's a problem. You submissive whenever you want to be. Whenever I tell you to do something you don't want to do, now you're no longer submissive. That's not going for me. It's not going for me.
I can't lie to you. He got some truth in there.
That's true. That's true.
I'm gonna keep it a buck.
Shit wrong with that.
But what I'm noticing that more so in the generation that came before me, the 30 and down. The ones that's around my age and up, they're a little better. But you know, them young ones, they've been having the little issues, you know. They do all of it, and then no offense, baby, but it's too much of the snapbacks of the hands and all that extra. But like you said, when you're doing form, everything good. But,
Too much talking back.
I might be with you on this a little bit.
They're not letting us lead.
Yeah,
We need to be able to lead, but how can I lead a woman who every time I say something, she got something to say back? So you get in a relationship with a man who you feel like gonna do better by you and get you in a better place in life, but you don't want to listen to him. Why are you with him then?
I can't listen to a man or be led by a man that's gonna lead me into darkness. If I see off rip that you finna lead me into some BS,
then
now let me take the reins. I'm gonna have to take the reins to be masculine. Don't no woman wants to be masculine.
Well, pick better men today.
Listen, no women wants to be masculine. We all desire to be in our femininity. You know, we want a man.
Oh man.
Stop the cap.
Okay. Well, that's video number 1. So yeah, tonight we talking why can't black people get along? Why can't black people get along? Okay, let me check these comments real quick. Donovan said, let's see with him, but not with him. Fence squatter, pick a side, bro. Yeah, that was one of the observations, Donovan. I see you saw something too, man. I see you saw something too. Okay. Well, JR checking in. What's going on, JR? You good, man?
Yeah, I'm all good, thanks. How's everybody?
Doing well. You catch that video, man?
Second, sorry.
You catch that video?
Yeah, I'm catching it on my other phone. Yeah.
Okay. All right, cool. Okay. Well, yeah, we y'all all just saw the video, man. So let's drop a comment, let me know what y'all say.
I feel like you should run it again. Go ahead and run it again.
Okay, we run that back.
So let me say this. I mean, how many PlayStations have you brought?
I bought a lot of them, and Xboxes, and GameCubes, and Wii's, all types.
Because you mentioned that with a passion.
Man, look, it's something that we all done went through. We all just don't speak on it.
We
all done dated women with kids, and we all done got the short end of the stick. It's just we all deal with it in different ways. Some of us speak out on it, some of us don't. They always get the bigger end.
Some of the stuff that you said, I feel like
I'm
I'm talking out of hurt. That's just me.
I'm talking out of hurt. You see that these men ain't
That's just what
disagreeing.
I think.
Then why don't one man disagree with it?
Because you're the only person talking, really.
Do
to be
any
honest.
man disagree with what I have said so far? Speak now. If you do, it's fine.
Hey, don't put me in this.
No, I said any man.
I'm staying out the way.
Hey, I'm staying out of this.
I'm staying out the way on that. So yeah, some of it is legit.
If I'm honest,
I'm ready for this.
I'm with him, but I'm not with him. Let me tell you why I'm with him. Some of the things that he's saying make sense, but I think that when you get with the right woman, you guys communicate, then everything can go the way he's saying.
Love it.
So like I think he's referring to a submissive woman. And I think that you have to communicate with the woman on a certain level to find out if she is submissive, and then he'll get everything he's talking about. But he's not dealing with submissive women. He's just dealing with, I don't know, because
I'm dealing with women that's manipulative. Like women nowadays, they only want to be submissive when it fits them. They'll be submissive when we going on trips and when I'm paying the rent and whenever they car break down, I'm getting it fixed and whenever everything else is going good. When I tell you don't go to the club, it's a problem. You submissive whenever you want to be. Whenever I tell you to do something you don't want to do, now you're no longer submissive. That's not going for me. It's not going for me.
I can't lie to you. He got some truth in there.
That's true.
I'm gonna keep it a buck.
Shit wrong with that.
But what I noticed, I'm noticing that more so in the generation that came before me, the 30 and down. The ones that's around my age and up, they're a little better. But you know, them young ones, they've been having the little issues, you know. They do all of it, and then no offense, baby, but it's too much of the snapbacks of the hands and all that extra. But like you said, when you're doing form, everything good.
Too much talking back.
I might be with you on this a little bit.
They're not letting us lead.
Yeah,
we need to be able to lead, but how can I lead a woman who every time I say something, she got something to say back? So you get in a relationship with a man who you feel like gonna do better by you and get you in a better place in life, but you don't want to listen to him. Why are you with him then?
I can't listen to a man or be led by a man that's gonna lead me into darkness. If I see off rip that you finna lead me into some BS, then let me take the reins. I'm gonna have to take the reins to be masculine. Don't no woman wants to be masculine.
Well, pick better men today.
Listen, No women wants to be masculine. We all desire to be in our femininity. You know, we want a man.
Okay. So yeah, y'all saw that. We had to run that back. Let me get some of these comments real fast. Let's see. Donovan said, let's see, the first brother was his experience. Let's see, the first brother was his experience with logic. The first lady heard but responded with an emotional explanation. Okay, yeah. No, I appreciate that comment right there. Definitely something there. Kenyatta, she said, let's see, what's going on with the young lady in the blue? She said her body language is giving competition. Okay, y'all seeing some things in this video. Donovan said male conversation versus female conversation aren't the same language. Yeah, no, they definitely different. Kenyatta said, ma'am, you can't take the reins and be masculine. Okay, appreciate them comments right there. So yeah, I'm gonna come up to the panel, man. See what y'all say. Coco Beatboxer, JR. What y'all hear? What y'all see? Go ahead, JR. I see you ready. Go ahead.
Being that we heard both sets of genders speak, right? Right about now, who's making the most sense?
You talking about based on that conversation, who's making the most sense?
Based on the conversation, yeah. Like who's making the most sense?
You know what? Just like I said, just based off what I just heard, I'm gonna be honest. I think the brother he definitely was making some sense. I do got some issues, but he definitely was making some sense. Hold on one second, y'all. Hold on one second. Give me 1 second. Let me do this real fast. My bad.
I vote for the men.
Okay. All right. Straight like that. All right, like I said, the floor is open. Go Beatbox. Go ahead, Beatbox.
I think this is kind of an extension of kind of what we talked about last week and what I was trying to get at. The problem I have with even though I agree with what the guy that JR agrees with, I mean, the point is, like, you stop picking women who aren't going to follow you. I mean, that's the big deal. That's a big problem. But my point was last week, and I think this is something he was trying to say but couldn't, is that there's too many women out here that won't follow, period. So, and that's a problem. And it's hard to even kind of identify which women are decent people and which ones are not. I think he was trying to get to that as well. And you can see almost all the women bristle. You can see it. All of them bristling, getting real mad. And I hate when women say the bigger woman, no offense, she's bigger, but it's like, we don't want to go, we don't want to be masculine. Bullshit. Stop the cap. Y'all want to be masculine. That's what y'all want to do. Y'all want to do what you want to do. And as he said, he's not wrong. A lot of these women want men to be in the amber of the 40s. They want men to do all this stuff, pay all the bills, do all the trips, do all this stuff, but they want to do whatever they want to do on the back end. So, and he was explaining that, and these women they're like, we're not listening to that. That was kind of my point too last week. I wasn't saying that. I know sometimes we talk about a subset of people. That subset is the majority of women. I'm sorry, it just is. So we have to talk about them because they're everywhere. They're like walking
the majority of women. You are not exposed. This is my problem with the majority conversation. You are not exposed to the majority of women, just like I am not exposed to the majority of men. And we cannot say because we see women on the internet. We cannot say because we see women on the internet. But so you're telling me that the majority of the women are on the internet loud and boisterous about men and relations. You're telling me that the majority of the women.
We can say there's a variation. We can say that.
You're telling me there's a majority.
Yeah, I said there's a majority.
That the majority of the women are on the internet doing this about men.
Yeah,
you're telling me that the majority of them are doing that.
Most women have misandrous views on women.
Say that.
Yes.
So then when I start saying that the majority of men are this and that based off of the men that I see on the internet, then it's okay for me to say that.
I didn't just say the internet. I'm not saying just the internet.
No, so where are you getting exposure to the majority of women?
from my lived experience.
That's a lot of women. What
Yeah,
are
from my
you
lived
saying?
experience.
And so you're saying that's your lived experience is not majority.
If I was to, so okay, let's do the like again. We can just. We're not. I'm not talking. We just gotta be honest. I'm sorry. I know that might trigger you, but we gotta be honest here. We gotta be honest. I don't get mad. Listen, I don't get mad.
That's not factual.
So when I mention things like when
You
most
can't
women,
say majority.
wait.
If you said some,
a lot of women get mad when men say a lot of women are overweight. They say not all of us. 80% of them are overweight, right?
But okay,
right?
Did you see how you have?
No.
You don't have a statistic for this. You have a statistic, so you have data.
It drives what I'm saying.
You have data that can actually substantiate your argument in this particular.
Are women listening to what men want about weight?
That's been measured. Don't get lost. You said majority. I'm stuck right there. I'm not talking about weight right now. I'm not talking about baby mamas or baby daddies right now.
It correlates.
I'm talking about
that correlates too.
I'm talking about the statement that you made. I am only talking about the state. I'm not going to talk about fat people. I want to talk about that right now. I want to talk about the statement that you made. And the statement that you made was that the majority of the women, you categorize the majority of women based off of what criteria are you using to categorize the majority of women?
I'm saying that we can see that women don't listen to men based on things like that are measurable. I literally just said majority. Yeah, the majority of women are not married, right? Are the majority of women fat? Are the majority of women got kids?
Majority of women.
I'm answering your question. You still like the answer.
Another stat that's pertaining to something else.
It's a correlation. That's a correlation.
So hold on.
I'm sorry.
I'm not allowing that no more. Y'all talking outside your neck. I'm not doing it.
I'm not. I'm just saying what it is.
Anymore. If we're gonna talk about stuff on this show, if we're gonna put something on somebody, then we better have something concrete to put this on somebody. Women have been running around across the internet saying men this, men that, and they have no real way to substantiate any of those things that they are saying. They are literally using their anecdotal experiences along with the fact that they're basically misandrists, on top of the fact that they're experiencing trauma secondhand from other people. And then they're putting that on men and saying, men are this. And I don't agree with that either. I do not agree with that because I don't believe that all men are this or all men are that. That's crazy to me. I'm not about to do that. So we can't do that to women either.
I disagree. I just disagree with you. The women
that say
disagree. The women that say stuff like, I know, but let me explain. The women that say stuff like men, or let's use black men for example. When women say black men are in jail, we can literally look at the CDC and say that's not true.
Okay. So what are you using to say that the majority of the women? Because I'm stuck on your sentence on your statement, and the only reason, listen, but first of all, I just want to say I don't agree with none of those women on this show. Let me just preface that. Okay, I don't agree with them. Okay,
I know.
I'm just simply saying the only reason why I'm going back and forth with you because it's not even that I disagree with what you're about to say. The only part of what I disagree with is the fact that you're putting this on the majority of women.
If it wasn't the majority of women, they would be married. Period. I'm sorry. There's
other factors to women not being married. It's not only one thing or one reason. It's not only one.
It's not. I just explained. There's more than one thing. But if women, like I said, this is kind of a problem. This is one of these problems. I'm telling you, there's correlation and causation. I'm talking about the things that men complain about and want, and I'm using things that we can see. If men keep saying, "I want women that are fit," women aren't fit, right? What does that mean? Are they listening to what men want or say or believe? That's a problem, right? There are a lot of women who say, "I'm gonna wear wigs and weaves," and I don't care what you say, nigga, right? That's the majority of women. Majority. Listen, I would say a vast. I wouldn't say a majority of women wear headpieces, but too many. Too many do. A lot of women have kids out of wedlock.
Okay, too many. And I'm okay with that because guess what? That's subjective.
That's
but
not
all right.
that's
you saying too many. I might not think it's too many. Kuwait might not think it's too many. Vince might not think it's too many.
It's too many. You think it's the amount of women walking around here with wigs? That's okay. That's okay. That's acceptable.
I didn't say there weren't a lot of women.
I'm asking.
The
Is that acceptable to you? Is that acceptable to you?
That women are wearing wigs and it depends on why they're wearing them.
Okay. See, there we go.
We're gonna get back. We're gonna get back. So okay. So basically, the point in all of that was, we want to provide some clarity or have some clarity around some of our statements. So that's the lesson in that conversation right there. So we won't say, we'll be strategic when using majority or
I'll
all.
say some.
There you go. There you go. So we're gonna be more strategic. We're gonna come on back. We're gonna circle it on back. Was you good, beatbox? I know that got hot real fast. Was you good?
No. I like this. I like that stuff. I don't take anything personal as long as nobody else takes it personal. This is not my platform, so I'm just saying I don't take it personal. It's all good. Seriously.
And I'm never personally attacking. I love going back and forth with y'all. I love it. I love it.
Oh, come on.
But my question is, was that productive according to the topic in the video that he was trying to get to? Because we all know when he says majority, it's mostly going to be subjective. It's mostly going to be anecdotal. It's mostly going to be from his own lived experience, from his own worldview. So why even have that conversation, knowing that even you yourself sometimes, Coco, have used those words, but
I don't use majority. No, I don't, Cap.
it's a lot.
I definitely use a lot, but I do not use majority because I don't like to use that. Words matter. That's why I stopped to have that conversation. So just so you know, Joe, words matter. Words matter. How you say something does matter. It does matter.
That one word, will you understand?
How you say it matters. This is like if I said something negative about you, Joe, and I said all. Joe always doing that. And you're like, wait, I don't always do that. Right? It's gonna matter to you that I said you always do something that you know you don't always do. That's gonna matter to you.
That's to me, but that's personal. What Beatboxer was talking about.
It's gonna matter to the people that don't fall in that category that watch the show. Like women who watch the show, it's gonna matter to them that somebody's saying the majority of all women, because they'd be like, wait a minute. So am I in the minority or the majority?
I mean, sometimes hit dog scholar.
It does matter.
Well, can I jump in right quick, Quay?
Go ahead, man.
But we have to understand words do mean something, and the majority is over 50%. That's the majority. Over 50% is a majority. Over 50% of our kids are born out of wedlock. That's the majority. Over 50% of us are not married. That's the majority. Over 50% of us are not college educated. That's the majority. Most black men are underemployed. That's the majority. So if we're not going to be honest, and I would say I just came back and me and Remy are so tired of going to places and motherfuckers don't smile, don't speak, look you right in your face. No, that what I'm saying is that's mean shit. Like we talk this thing about how we want to come together and how we want to stand for blackness, but you want to be at a place. I can't be you see another person of your color. Like we all don't belong. You know what I'm saying? And this is everywhere. I'm talking about Turks and Caicos, Jamaica, Bahamas, Aruba, Brazil, where else the fuck? Canada. It's just the norm. It's the majority of black people do not speak. The majority. If I take 10, 6 of them are not going to speak, especially women. Look at my wife right dead in her face. They look at her face. They look at her ring finger. They look at me. They might look at the kids if they're there, and they will not fucking speak.
Yeah.
I'm like, really? And I don't know, maybe it's just because people are having hard times. I don't know, maybe they're just happy. So we just got to keep it 100. That's our culture. And when I talk about culture, that's our culture. So it is the majority. So I know you words
Do
me.
you even know what he
because
said was the majority,
50%.
Vince? Do you even know what he said was the majority, Vince? You talking about a completely different thing. And I'm not even gonna argue your point with you about
No,
people
he was talking about masculine women. I know, and that is the majority, but that's part of
he was talking
masculine.
about he said the majority of women don't listen.
They don't.
Right?
They don't. That's the majority. They're not feminine. They're not friendly. They're not.
So this is why
most of them want to. No, most of them want to wear suits and ties like men.
He didn't say
want to be
he
men.
said don't listen to men.
That's
he said the majority.
I said both. I said both.
Said the majority.
Okay. Hold on. Let me circle it back. So I said tonight we are talking. Why can't black people get along? Right. So this
we can't even get along in this conversation.
So let me
because
keep
we
going.
don't want to keep it 100.
Let me
because
keep
we
going.
don't want to keep it 100.
Hold on.
Y'all just saying stuff based off y'all
feelings. The facts is reality, Chloe. The facts is reality.
No,
it's over 50%.
That's your reality.
Over 50%. Okay. So over 50% is the majority, right? If you on a board and it's 10 of y'all,
pull up the stats.
6 of y'all vote.
What's the data? I'm gonna do what y'all do. What men do all the time?
The data is 4 in 10 women will ever get married. The data is 8.
So all of those other women don't listen to men because they're not married. So that's what we're saying.
Well, they're fat.
They're not married because they're not listening to men.
Kids. They're
That's
fat
why.
have kids.
They just not married because they're not listening to men.
Wait, okay, hold up, everybody. So wait. So y'all literally
doing stuff all around.
Hold on. Are we gonna prove the title right?
Yeah.
We can't get along.
We can't
because people don't want to be accountable. We don't want to be.
Look at this.
It's a war on black men. It's a war on black men, and everybody quiet about it. You got Barack Obama again talking about black boys need a gay. I know this is off topic. Black boys need a gay man because their father ain't good enough. Damn, he would never say that about his black wife. He would never say some bullshit like that.
Well,
it's just an attack on black man. It's an attack on masculinity. It's an attack.
Okay.
And if we don't come to grips with it, that's why all these boys walking around here don't know what they want to be, can't make no decisions because there's an attack on masculinity, especially black men.
So let me do this.
Y'all don't see it.
Let me do this.
Nobody said this.
Hold on, Coco. Hold on. So let me do this. So I know we started this conversation out based on the video, but this conversation that's happening right now is bringing up some additional things, right? Have we ever considered that the reason why it seems like black folks can't get along is because we've bought into a lot of this BS? So let me give y'all an example. So we had the conversation, you know what I'm saying? I'll just call these sub conversations. So we had the sub conversation that popped off earlier about the wording and how, Beatboxer, used the wording majority to describe, these ladies who would not listen. Is it a chance that we have bought into the fact that majority of women out here don't listen, but the percentage is actually a lot less than that? Because we basing that off of what we see on the internet and our small vision or our small interaction of women. Is that a possibility?
My granddaddy been talking about women not listening in his generation. What are we talking about?
Jesus Christ. We can keep going.
My father, who's a baby boomer, says black women particularly, don't listen. I'm listening to my daddy. I'm sorry. I'm not talking about no end. I'm listening to him. And I agree. My mother don't listen.
My mama, my auntie, none of them.
Exactly.
They wasn't married. They
but what I'm saying,
because they wouldn't listen.
Fellas, what I'm saying is,
to an average man.
What I'm saying is beatboxers. So the first example that you gave was what your father said, right? So what if I come back and say I can tell you 5 men right now that's going to disagree with you? Then what's your response to that?
I'll give you 10 or 15. I'll give you 20. I swear to you. I swear to you. Listen, I understand what.
Come on.
I said in the private comments. I'll be more precise with my words, but as Vince said, and how I'm saying, they'll like. And I'll give you this. There are things that we cannot
quantify.
Can't quantify. Thank you. But we can, things that we can quantify, we can correlate with what's going on. We can do that. We can. I'm sorry. That's how logic. That's how logic works.
The problem with that is you could, if that's the thought process that we're going with, and we're okay with that. There's the echo.
Is it me?
No, it's Joe. Go ahead.
So if we're gonna go with that, right? Then that's a slippery slope. And the reason why I say that is because now you have people using any particular type of piece of data or stat or whatever they want to use and say, well, it correlates, and they'll back it into something to make it work because it proves their narrative and it makes their point, right? And they could say it correlates, but it may not necessarily correlate, right? Sure. But because they're trying to prove a point, they will use that to do that. And that has happened on this show.
Sure.
In particular. And so, listen, y'all. B-Boxer, I know that you ain't on that. I understand that. But I'm calling that out for sake of the conversation, right? Sure. I'm calling it out because I'm trying to get to the point where we can have conversations and be genuine, right? And have conversations and not always be about one side attacking the other. Unfortunately, there's going to be some offense because it is what it is. The truth is offensive. And it is what it is. We can't stop that. People are going to be offended. It's whatever. But let's at least try to have the conversation in good faith. And by having it in good faith, I'm not going to say all men are doing anything, because I can't take a stat that might say one thing about Black men and say, well, since this says Black men is over here doing this, then that's got to mean that Black men are this. I mean, I wish I had a better example for you right now. If I think of one throughout the show, I'll bring it back. I don't have one at the moment.
Well, I can give you one that so I've heard, like, depending on like what inner city you live in, like there'll be Black women who work in those places. Like almost every Black man who lives, let's say, in Chicago, that comes in to like some sort of municipality, goes to jail, goes to prison, right? So they'll use that little piece of America as they say, oh, Black men in general go to jail, like the majority of us. When the stats show that maybe it's about 4%, if that, and I think it's about 30% of Black men make the jail population in general. But that's the thing. I think I'm not on that type of time because I'm trying to be as precise as I can be, and I'm using correlations. That is not even a correlation. That's just somebody using a lived experience, what they see in their job. Because I debated a woman about this. So like, that's where you live in the inner city. It's a kind of a dystopian place. Yeah, and it's the majority Black. But if we talk about if we take out the aggregate and we look at the whole thing, it's a little bit different. Not a little bit, it's a lot different. So if that helps your point, Coco, but I'm saying, and I know Vince was saying, it's like, we kind of see what's going on out here. I don't, I'm not saying this to be like mean or to be offensive. I'm saying like we just kind of see, and this has been going on for generations. This not women not listening to Black men and Black women, that didn't just come out of nowhere. We see this. We even see this with African people in the West African people. We see Black women acting a fool over there. This is where it kind of comes from. This is not something that.
So African and Black are two different things, but okay. You
know what I'm saying? Where we come from. What I'm saying, where we come from, right? From West Africa, things don't happen in vacuums. We see kind of the stuff that we see here with us. You see it where we come from. You see in Ghana, some of the same problems. In Nigeria, Sierra Leone, some of the same stuff over there. You see it here. That's all I'm saying. Some places in the Caribbean, Black people in the West. It's very similar. We're not unique. I think Black people in America think we're not as unique as we think. So that's all I'm trying to say. We can't have I'm not trying to say. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. I'm done.
I got you, man. I got you. Yeah, now just like I said, I want us to go ahead, Vince.
I get the point, but we have to really understand where our culture is going. And I hate to always berate this, but you had Michelle Obama on national TV telling black women don't listen to their husbands. Come on now. You don't see it? Y'all didn't see that? She told
Michelle doesn't qualify. She's not a woman.
Wait, come on now, Chloe.
She don't qualify. Y'all talking
my God.
Y'all talking about y'all.
Wait a minute.
A man got on TV and told women
Chloe,
not to. Homosexual men have been getting on TV trying to tell women what to do forever. So she don't qualify. Them.
Okay.
They don't qualify.
But those are our so-called leaders and influencers. They even wanted her to run for president. They said she would have got more votes than Kamala Harris. Why? I don't know. Just because she's famous and was Barack Obama's wife, I don't know if that qualifies her to be president. But anyway, I'm just saying, y'all don't see the blatant disrespect that they have for the black men, and they don't even care no more. Barack Obama got, even the fact that, black men are not going to vote for her because she's a black, what are you, really? Our families women are raising our families. What are you talking about? Black women are running corporations, are our bosses, and everything else. And you're going to say we're so ignorant and misogynistic that we're not going to vote just because she's a woman? No, that's white man shit, if you want to be honest. They're the ones who sat their women down. Our women was out in the field with us, doing everything that we did. We didn't have the luxury to put our women on no pedestal like they did. So I'm saying all that to say, it is a majority, it's a mentality, and it's our culture. And if we don't understand that, we will never get better. Because we don't believe in marriage. The first one talking about we don't need to get married is poor black people. But they got a bunch of goddamn babies. Come on now, Chloe.
So no,
and that's men too. And that's men, and men need to be more. I see the same thing about these baby daddies. I say the same thing about these men complaining about child support. What the fuck you complaining for? You should have married her. You should have picked better. So I go both ways, but we got to be honest though. You know, it is the majority. So,
but see, even that though,
Vince, for a minute, I got my son coming in.
No, go ahead. But even that though, this is why I was making the point earlier that we may be falling for some of this stuff that's going on, for some of this propaganda out here, and thinking or using it to mentally inflate some of these situations. So even this situation that Vince just mentioned with the whole, Michelle Obama, her telling these women out here not to listen to their men. See, the reason why we got to be careful with a lot of this stuff, because that person was lying. Because trust and believe, she was still listening to her husband while she was telling these women to do something else. But see, I think sometimes what happens is we hear these things and then we will take it sometimes and we will apply it across a demographic that may not be fully accurate because we hear the propaganda. Yeah, we fed this stuff on a daily. We hear these stuff from these females. But I've said this before, and I'm going to continue to say it. I think we just have to be careful in these situations not to fall into these traps or buy into this stuff, because there's still a lot of people who are listening. There's still a lot of women who are listening. They just not vocal. Yep, and they don't get on social media talking about the fact that they listen to their men and they listen to their husband and all that. You don't hear that. Yeah, you don't hear these women getting on social media at the percentages of the women who are, let's just say, who are against or speaking against it. You don't hear those women speaking about these particular topics at the same level. We just got to be honest about that. Yep, social media has become a situation where everybody likes some negativity and everybody likes some drama and some excitement. Yep, and a lot of people, we're going to be honest, a lot of people don't find the truth exciting. Yep, a lot of people don't find following structure of a man exciting. A lot of people don't find being a submissive wife exciting. They don't. Yeah, so we're not going to see the same visual that we see of the ones that are against it, are against being married, are against being in a relationship, want to be on the independent boss chick mindset and whatever else. It's not going to equal up. I can guarantee you that. So yeah, I just think in these situations we gotta keep perspective of that. But yeah, I want to circle us back to that first video, because I think that there is some pieces in that video tying to this topic of why Black people can't get along. So I know we got a little off, but I'm gonna try to bring us back. But the gentleman, you know what I'm saying, in the brown leather coat, you know, he was saying what he was saying about the situations that he's been in and the single mothers that he's dated and so forth. And one of the first things that the young lady in the blue dress said was basically, you sound like you speaking from hurt. Yeah, when I heard that, it's just like, that's definitely one of the reasons why we can't get along. Yeah, it's like, as Black folks, we got to be able to sit down and have a conversation. Like, we got to be able to sit down and listen to each other and not try to put a label on it. Just hear what the man got to say, instead of you trying to put a label on it, talking about he coming from some hurt. You don't know if he coming from no hurt. You ain't heard him out yet. Yeah, but you're ready to make an assumption. You're ready to label my man. You're ready to discredit him because you just want to tie it to hurt. Yeah, but I feel like that's one thing that we got to stop doing. It's like, if we're saying that we want to get to solutions. We're saying that we want to fix these things, but we're not going about it that way. Yeah, but as soon as somebody open their mouth, we ready to shut them up. As soon as somebody start being transparent, we ready to shut them up. As soon as somebody start telling you their experience, we ready to shut them up. That's not going to get us nowhere. It's not going to fix anything, and it's definitely not going to get a conversation going to where it can be productive with a better outcome. Another thing that I saw in that video, I'm gonna come to you, Joe, one sec, man. Another thing that I saw in that video is the brother made his point, and then I heard some of the other brothers say, "Don't put me in this. If I don't want to get in this." And I'm like, what? I'm like, what is that? Yeah, I'm like, how y'all gonna leave your mans out hanging like that? Like, what is that? Like, is this a conversation, or y'all trying to throw my man out there because you sitting in the room with a couple other females, so you trying to impress the females, and you ready to, you know what I'm saying, throw your man out on the island by himself, make him seem like he the only one tripping? Like, what is that? Let me ask one of the fellas. Well, Joe, I see you off mute, Joe. So tell me what that is. So when a brother is being transparent with some information of what he's experienced, and then another fella says, "I don't want to get in that," or "Don't put me in that," where is that coming from, Joe? Give me your opinion, man.
Okay. I'm trying not to let. Okay, gotta get together. Well, we know why, because those men want to save face, and because they just saw what just happened to him. All those women, just that one comment you made earlier. It sounds like someone hurt you. Automatically, they're putting him in a, you know, it's like a very it's an emasculating choice of words to use. They sound like some trauma or something going on. It's demoralizing. It's completely insensitive, and it brushes under the rug what he was trying to say, what he was saying, as a trivial thing. Like, that's just something you're dealing with. And so when other men see that, they don't want that same energy coming from those women on that panel, focused on them as it was on him. So they're going to take the easier route and back out and say, yeah, we don't get involved. They can feel and think the same way, but and kind of like pander, meander around and like, yeah, I kind of do it, kind of don't. But let me, they'll even try to do a little bit of like, I agree with both sides, as opposed to standing firm on one thing or the other, because they don't want that heat, that smoke that man had got. So they left him out on the island alone because it's easier to do that because they're afraid of the woman that's right in front of them, even if they believe it. So they would rather play the arbitrator, the mediator. Let me sit back and just observe and oh yeah, he's kind of, yeah, I don't want that smoke on me. So that's what that's about. Lastly, I, that guy, I understand what he's talking about. However, just because he wanted to play Santa Claus to a bunch of other women's kids, listen, and he's not happy with the end result, that was his choice at the end of the day. And it sounds like he did it more than once. So if at the first time you didn't like it, why did you keep doing it and keep going through that experience? Do you not realize there are millions of women out here without kids who are single? You don't have to get with a woman with any children. So you have a choice not to get involved with a woman who is with children. So what was your motive and intentions of getting a woman with a child? Is it because maybe you saw something in her? Maybe you know that she doesn't have as many options. Maybe she's an easier catch, so to speak. Some sort of vulnerability in her that you saw that you thought you wanted to take advantage of, that maybe it backfired on you. There's some things like that that takes place in a man's psyche to get with a woman with a child, especially if he doesn't have kids of his own and he chooses to do it and then gets upset when it doesn't go the way he expected it to. Maybe he didn't get the pats on the back he thought he was going to get. Maybe he didn't get the attaboy, thank you for taking care of my other my seed of another man, right? And he's feeling salty about it, but he still made that choice, not once, not twice, probably 3 or 4 times. So that was foolish on his part. And lastly, women, they follow. I mean, I just speak for personal experience. It's not, they can follow one of two things. They can follow the man with money, with resources, the things that benefit the woman's life and give the man the illusion of authority until he doesn't have those things anymore, or they can follow a man's energy. They can follow his presence. They can follow that something within him that money can't buy, that a lot of men try to purchase. They try to purchase loyalty. They try to purchase leadership from a woman. But you can't buy that. I can walk into a Burger King looking like absolute shit with a full face beard, with nothing grown, nothing, just dirty clothes, and the woman can just be into me for what reason, I don't know. But it's not because of the money, it's not because of the cars, it's not because of the clothes, it's not because of the house or any of these material things. So if a man chooses to get with a woman because he settles for a woman's um, submission based on the things that he has, the things that he can provide, and then when he no longer has those things or provide those things, she falls out of love with him, and she was never loving him to begin with. So that's also a situation within a man's psyche that will make him want to get with a woman who doesn't value him for who he is, rather than the things that he already has to provide. So I'll leave it on that.
I get that. JR, I saw you pop up. You want to say something, man?
Yeah, let somebody else go. I'll go after them.
Okay. Anybody else want to say anything? Y'all good? Go ahead, Coco.
Also, I kind of wanted to. I put that comment up though. I wonder also if he just didn't want to hurt his chances potentially. They don't want to hurt their chances of potentially getting one of the chicks. Like, let's just be so for real. I appreciate Joe. I'm not saying what you said was wrong. I believe your reason too. Right. Like I believe your reason too. I believe that, they didn't want the smoke at the moment. They just didn't really want it. You know what I'm saying? So they left him out here, but they left him out there by himself. But it probably also was, I'm not about to say anything. I might still want to take one of these chicks home. So yeah, I'm not about to piss him off. But I think that I know I got off into the whole thing about all majority or whatever, but the comment that I did want to make about the video was just that I do believe that women in general definitely struggle with allowing men to speak and allowing men to speak and just being open to hearing the conversation. And I think the reason why, to be honest, the reason why women don't want to let men speak is because most often men are going to talk about something in pertaining to women that women are not going to want to hear. It's most require that women make some type of adjustment or some type of change or take a look at something that they're doing. And at the end of the day, they don't want to hear that. They don't have time for that. This goes back to what I was saying last week. I understand that women are out of line. I've never disagreed with the fact that we are out of line and we are out of position. And because of that, we don't want to hear nothing that anybody has to say that's going to require us to do something that puts us back in position, right? Like I'm okay with some of the foundational things that you're saying, but I think that what made civilization work though was that everybody did understand that they had a part to play. Now, whatever that part was for that civilization, for that tribe, for those people, they played their parts. And what we don't understand is when we are out of line, when men aren't playing their position, when women aren't playing their position, we are out of line and it's not going to work. This is at the core of why Black people can't get along. At the end of the day, men don't want to hear what women are saying any more than women want to hear what men are saying. Y'all are not going to sit up here and act like y'all trying to hear what women are talking about. Y'all are not. You're not. You're not trying to hear women, and women are not trying to hear you. Because at the end of the day, it's going to call you all to have to make some adjustments as well. Last week, when I was going in about the fact that men don't need women to follow in order to be leaders. Nobody wanted to hear that. It kept going over y'all head. I don't understand why you can't move around. Just like we're telling that guy, y'all just said it. The men said it, that he should just move around them chicks that he's coming in contact with. Move around them. And y'all are not wrong. Why is it not the same ideal when it comes to a man? Move around those chicks that keep butting heads with y'all. Move around them. You don't have to sit there and go back and forth with a woman. You take your resources and go give them to a woman who will appreciate them. Don't stop being a leader. Don't say, I'm going to give up my position. Don't give up your position. Just wherever you at, relocate. Relocate spiritually, physically, mentally, emotionally, whatever that look like for you. Relocate. You don't have to deal with that. I'm not trying to tell men to go make women who aren't going to listen, who are stubborn, to follow that. I'm not telling you, I'm not asking you to do that. I wouldn't ask you to do that. What I'm saying is there are women who want male leadership. They want the structure. They want to follow. Now, whether y'all believe that's the minority of women or whatever number you think that is, at the end of the day, we outnumber y'all. So even if it is only the minority, the odds is still looking good for you. So move around those chicks. Stop focusing all y'all time and energy on those women. That's why they're called the leftovers. I know they don't like that. You making yourself a leftover. You don't have to be left, baby. You don't have to be left. You could go too if you can get your attitude together. But if you're not, you're going to get left. That's what makes you a leftover. And that's all I was saying last week, and that's all I will say. The lady on the end in the burgundy that spoke up first immediately and said, we don't want to be masculine while she's being masculine. I think the problem there is you didn't even let what my man said marinate. You had the first guy that was a little bit more upfront with what he said. And then you had the second guy who tried to be a little bit more politically correct. He had to try to be a little bit more reasonable. Now, this is what women say they want, right? They want men to articulate themselves better. They want men to be nicer, kinder when they speak. So here he comes with the finesse. They still didn't want to hear it. Because at the end of the day, it's the message. They just don't want to hear it because it means I have to do something different. It means I have to change. It means I have to actually accept accountability for what I am doing, and I don't want it. Do I think there's a lot of women in the world like that? Yes. I just simply don't agree that it's the majority because I believe that a lot of women just don't want it. I think we got a lot of Remy's that are like, I'm minding my business. It don't have nothing to do with me. I'm not in it because I don't want to deal with these women. So I'm going to keep my opinion to myself and I'm going to find my own man and I'm going to start my own family and I'm going to go off mind my business. I'm not going to go back and forth with these people. And I believe it's more women like that than we realize. Now, whether that's the minority, majority, or in the middle, I don't know. But that's why I don't like when we do that, because I know that we're missing out on this whole, subset of women that are like, nope, that ain't me. I don't even talk to y'all. So that's the point that I was making.
Okay. No, I appreciate that right there. I appreciate that. Anybody else want to say something? I got a couple more videos to hit. Y'all good? All right, cool. Go ahead, JR. Then we go to the next one.
Yeah, and I was going to say, a lot of good points have been made in regards to obviously both parties. And I always say, like, both people need to come back together, right? And figure this out and have that conversation. And the problem that we're having is that women don't want to accept their wrongdoings. And men are happy to accept women's shortcomings. In a sense of, just looking at the video where as much as the men know that the woman's mindset in that room is wrong, a lot of them are still willing to overlook what's going to give them problems later on down the road. And going back to the question that I asked last week, right, about saying no to your women, a lot of those guys couldn't say no. They just don't know how to say no. And that's why when Miss Cole was asking the questions last week, right, regards, getting married and whatnot. I know me, right? You do you, I'm gonna do right by you. If you don't, I'm very good at holding up that mirror and playing the exact same game as you, because I know how toxic I can be. Like, I know how bad I can turn the situation. And I'm not talking in terms of, physical abuse or anything like that. I can play you with the emotional situations, manipulations that you try to come with. Because what a lot of men don't realize is that they be getting played every day, but they just don't know how to say no. And that's why we're having these issues. Because, like I said, men are too quick to accept. Because there's one thing, right, about women talking about healing. Now, when they go through their journeys and whatnot, obviously, I don't know if they're meant to do it for the guys, because for the guys, we see it different, right? That you're supposed to heal, so then I can benefit from that. But obviously, women, they have a different perspective about it, right? And once again, us men, we want to be the judge of the women that heals. Who said that we're the judge of that? Because once again, we're going to accept her, and then she's going to come with the problems that we thought she healed from, but in reality, she didn't heal from that. So once again, we've got it wrong, because we're too quick to say yes. We don't know how to say no to women. And people always ask me, how come my last relationship ended? And I said, I practiced how to say no quite a lot of times, and she left me.
So, yeah, I got a buck couple of your points, man. I know you said that the men are a little more willing to accept some of the shortcomings from these young ladies. I'm gonna call a little cap on that, man.
Me too.
Not the cap.
Yeah, I think that's part of the issue that's behind why we can't get along. Yeah, I think we're in a situation now where some of these guys, first of all, no longer want to accept, some of the stuff that these females are out here doing. But then we also are in a time where we still got a lot of dudes lusting over chicks, so they're dealing with a lot of BS. So I don't think that a man doesn't know how to tell a woman no. I just think he has a problem deciding when the best time to do it is. Yeah, see, sometimes when the dude, you know what I'm saying, when he trying to get the, let's just be honest, when he trying to get the draws, he deal with all type of nonsense. Let's just be honest. She can be a whole clown. But if he got his mind locked in, I got to get it. She a little thick one. She got that walk. He'll know this chick crazy as she want to be, and he'll still go and fall in. But then he'll be the same dude 12 months later talking about he can't stand this chick. She won't let him see his baby and all this other nonsense. Yeah, but then at the same time, we also got dudes, especially today, who as soon as they see something they don't like about a female, they like, nah, I'm good. Soon as she come out with that wig on, he like, nope. Soon as she come back from Dominican Republic with that BBL, he like, nope. Yeah, but soon as she say, let me can you pay my car note this month, and they still dating, he like, nope. So it's like dudes know what they should be doing, but it's like they still caught up between the reality portion of it, the lust portion of it, and the accountability portion of it. So we just got to keep it a buck. Yeah, because just that point alone, I think is a lot of the problem now. Yeah, we in a time where these dudes are speaking against some of this stuff. I'm gonna mute you for a sec, Joe, because you got some noise coming through. I think we're in a time where, you know, dudes are being more vocal about some of this stuff that they don't like about the women these days. Yeah, but I'm gonna be honest. I think some of our women, they don't like it, to Coco's point. Yeah, they not used to these dudes saying, I don't like that about you. Yeah, they're not used to these dudes critiquing how they dress. They're not used to these dudes critiquing, you know what I'm saying, if their hair is real or if it's artificial. Like, they're not used to that. Yeah, they're not used to a dude saying, you know what I'm saying, let's go out to eat, but you got to put half on this bill. They ain't used to that. Yeah, but that's the time we're in, because I think overall, I'm going to be honest, from my perspective, we've been playing with each other. Yeah, we've been playing with each other. We've been taking advantage of each other, and we've been using each other. Yeah, but I think it's done caught up to us. Yeah, this is why it's such a struggle to get a relationship off the ground these days, because at the end of the day, don't nobody trust nobody. Yeah, don't nobody trust nobody. Yeah, but I knew we would get to this point because I said we've been doing too much playing and we haven't been intentional. I mean, you can only do that for so long till people gonna start tapping out. Yeah, but what's happening, or what's a side effect of it all, is people are not tapping out quietly and going away and just moving around like Coco was saying. What they're doing now is they're taking to social media. They taking to these panels. They posting this stuff, going at each other, arguing, fighting. Just don't nobody want to hear nobody. And that's what it's turning into. And then wondering why stuff ain't working out and why they can't find somebody. Well, it's like we going down a bad road. To Vince's point, it's some stuff going on out here. It's a lot of propaganda being spread around. You got influential people out here saying all type of nonsense, even though that's not the life they live in. Like, it's a lot of stuff going on out here. So yeah, I think, like I said, if we want to move and get to some solutions or get to some common ground, I'll just put it that way, to get back to some common ground, we got to move differently. And like I said, we got to open our eyes to what's happening. But I got a second one I'm gonna run. I said we're gonna keep going.
You know, some shit that I've done to men that I will never ever regret. Years ago, I was dating a guy for like 6 to 8 months, right? During those 6 to 8 months, he called me to tell me that he lost his job. I was like, okay. I waited 2 hours. I said, hey, let's meet up for a drink or something to eat or something like that. And he was like, okay, yeah, sure. As soon as we get to the spot, I look him dead in the face and I said, hey, it's not gonna work out between us. And he was like, what? Are you being serious? And I was like, yes, I am. He was like, why are you breaking up with me? Is it because I don't have a job? And I was like, funny you said that. That's exactly why I'm breaking up with you. And then he goes, wow, you are a gold digger. And I was like, yeah, you really are broke. So look at us. And he was like, wow, you really gonna leave me over me not having a job? Like, I'm not gonna go get one? And I was like, no. And he tried to make me feel bad that I was breaking up with him because he no longer had a job. And I was like, I do not care. The fact that you even thought that I was going to be your fixer is crazy to me. is wild to me. The fact that you even wanted to tell me that information without just going out there and getting a job and being like, hey, by the way, I got a new job instead of, hey, I lost my job is crazy to me. So therefore, I want no part in it. I don't want to know your sad story. I don't want to be Captain Save. No, none of that. None of that. That's something you call and tell your parents. You tell your homeboy. You tell your friend. You don't tell me. I don't care. That's not my problem. All I hear is, hey, I'm going to start being cheap and mean to you. That's what I hear when you say, I ain't got a job. And guess what? I run on the first red flag, baby. Y'all want to know?
Okay. Video number 2. Big Bossy, you first, man. What you hear, man?
What gang is she affiliated with? She got the 3 teardrops on the side of her face. Did anybody see that?
Yeah, that's what I said. I was like, she get GD or something. What's going on?
Go ahead, B-Boss. What you hear, man?
You know, she did the man a favor, I guess. Right? I mean, look, we all of us are going to go through hard times. Like, not all of us are going to keep our jobs and all that, right? Like, life happens. There are some people out there, men and women, who will, when bad things happen, the first sign of something bad going down, they run. She seems like one of those people. And I don't like that because I've seen some of the things you've said, Mr. Price, on Facebook about how people are really selfish and stuff. I've been seeing you saying that lately. And I think this is like a prime example of that. You can't be in a relationship being selfish like that. You just can't. No, if the man is, let's put some nuance in it. If a man's like he's not stable, he's going from job to job to job to job. That's one thing, right? And there are black men especially who do that. They just go from job to job to job to. It's like, bruh, stay in one place, my man, please, for the love of God. But it didn't sound like that was what was going on. She just wanted to be happy, roses. And it wasn't that way, and she wasn't empathetic. It's pretty narcissistic, to be honest. You know, the word that women love using, you're a narcissist, you're a narcissist. I mean, that was pretty narcissistic to me. So yeah, man, like I think she did the guy a favor. Anytime something like that happens to men especially, be happy that happens to you. When a woman's like, I don't care be happy it happens to you when you're not married, especially. If you're not married, you'd be like, thank God I dodged the bullet, because that's crazy work.
Well, no man's going to be happy with that as it's happening to him. He's going to reflect on it. It's going to take some time for him, like, oh yeah, maybe it was a good idea that she left. But in a moment, that's like a damn. So the last 8 months was for what? Just so me funding your lifestyle, me taking care of your bills and things like that. It's him realizing at that moment that, dang, she only wanted me for the money.
But Joe,
okay, cool.
but Joe, that's on the man though.
That's true.
That's on him. That's his fault. He should have known better.
That's true. Well, every man should have known better, right? But that's not. Unfortunately, we might think of love and this concept of love, and women will be much more methodical in their purposes for wanting to play into the man's belief in love. So if he's thinking he's in love, and she's playing the game of, yeah, we're in love. Yeah, that's right. That's what we are. But as soon as something happens that she doesn't like, where he loses the income, then he finds out how much in love that she really was. It was with his pockets, not himself. So
that didn't happen, Joe. That didn't happen. That doesn't just happen. She's been doing that for the whole relationship.
Exactly. That's why he said you really are. So I agree with you, Boxer, unless you were being sarcastic. Yeah. I agree with you when you said that was his fault, because he said when she did it, he said you really are a gold digger, which means you've thought this at some point in the relationship. At some point, you've seen something that made you think, is this chick just with me for my money? But it was all good at the moment. You was getting something out of it. She was getting something out of it. So everybody was just satisfied. Like going back to what Quay said. He was dealing with it because he was getting whatever it was that he wanted from her. But then the minute that stops, she shows her full true colors. And it's like, at some point, that's why I don't believe women say that either. When they say, well, he just switched up on me. He just changed out of the blue. I do not believe that. I do not believe that you've been with this dude, even if you only been with him for a year. I do not believe that the whole year went by and this man just out of the blue became somebody completely different. At some point, he showed you some signs of something that should have been a red flag, and you ignored it because whatever you were getting from him, you enjoyed it at the time and it was all good, right? And the same thing with this man. This woman done showed you something before. And you were like, yeah, but it's all good right now. As long as you had the money for her, she was cool. She would have kept playing with you and playing with you and playing with you until eventually somebody else came along that she thought might have been better or had something more, and then she would have taken her lead anyway. So, I mean, you kind of dodged a bullet sooner rather than later. I mean, 8 months, but at least, you got out of that. But yeah, I don't, people have the type of I'm starting to think that people have the type of relationships that they want. They have the type of relationships that they want. If you want whatever type of relationship you want, you have. I believe it, because a woman can't say she wants a good man that's loyal and trustworthy and dependable and is a good leader, but then picks Pookie because he made her tingle. Yeah. You don't have the relationship that you need. You have the relationship that you want. You want the tingles. So that's what you got. That's exact. So don't come back saying, I don't know why men keep doing this to me. I don't know why I keep getting these men. Because that's the relationship that you want. That's what you want. You're not a victim. You're not a victim. Unless a man legit, like now the real true narcissists of the world, not the ones that you guys are labeling narcissists. Real narcissists will pull the wool over your eyes. They will be everything you want them to be in the beginning. They absolutely will do that. But every man you come across is not a narcissist. Right. He is not. You picked him because he made you tingle, and you know what I'm saying? Never mind.
He reminds you of the last narcissist.
TV. Anyway, you know why you picked him. Right. So yeah, same thing with me. And y'all know why y'all picking these chicks. Let's be so for real.
No, that's real. Let me check in. Is Cole down there?
Yeah, I'm here.
How you doing, Cole? You all right?
I'm chilling.
Okay, you got that sound in your voice. I got a question for you. You ready?
Right now?
If you ready.
I mean, give me a minute.
Okay.
I don't even know what it is.
No, I'm gonna give you. No, it's based on the video. I'm gonna give you a minute. I'm gonna ask Vince first. I'm gonna get the male and the female perspectives. I'm gonna come back to you after Vince.
Right.
So Vince, I got a question for you, man, off that video right there. So this young lady made a point. I want to see what you say about this from the male perspective. Then I'm gonna ask Cole after you. So that young lady said that this brother called her and told her that he lost his job. And she said he shouldn't have called and told her that he lost his job. He should only have been calling her to tell her that he got a new job. What's your position on that?
My position is she was right. Because at the end of the day, he probably met her at the club or the bar, the strip club or something. And he was paying her from the beginning because, as Chloe said, he said something about you just a gold digger. And it wasn't a relationship. So why would you tell her anyway? You should just be like, okay, the money, okay, I need to go find me another job, so I'm about to leave her alone. So it was really, he just thought it was more than what it was.
Yep.
So you saying he played himself? That's what you saying?
Yeah, definitely played himself.
Okay. So he went wrong by trying to be transparent with old girl.
Yeah, that wasn't a relationship. The relationship, I want to have some fun. You gonna pay me? We gonna have sex. We gonna do. And if it run out, then I'm just gonna find me somebody else.
Okay, I feel that.
I know he wasn't trying to wife her because he wouldn't have said, "Oh, you will go." He met her at the strip club. That's where he met her, throwing 20s on her.
Okay. That's why he had to look for her.
Or Miami Beach. Come on, B-Box. Come on, Joe. You know how that goes.
Yeah,
Women walking down them sandy beaches at the bar, sitting up at the bar.
I didn't want to put myself out there, and I didn't want to say that, but yes, that's exactly what I was thinking. Because of the tattoos and stuff, I was like, she's probably a property of some gang, and yeah, I'm not gonna go there. I just know some things. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I mean, shit, you in the streets, you get street women.
Okay. I ain't mad at that. I was just curious on that. JR, I saw you pop off, man. Do you want to say something? You good? Was that JR? Oh, you might have been good. Okay. Cole, you back or you still gone, Cole?
I'm here.
Okay. So what you say on that? Is there should he have told her that he lost his job, or should he just only have told her when he had a new job?
So I do agree with Vince based on the situation. But if it was like a relationship, then for me, I feel like I would have told my partner, and we would have to like really develop a plan. Now I know everybody isn't like that. I know that. But for me, if we are a team and we know stuff happens, like, look, okay, this happened, but let's be realistic about what the needs are going to be now that this is a thing. What does it look like every day looking for a job? Like, you got your resume together. Like, what does that plan look like? But again, that's just me.
Are you speaking for your sweat?
I
So,
appreciate
but
that.
it's different if you lost your job as a woman. He's talking about like from the perspective of a man losing his job and telling a woman.
I
Because
don't think it's
we're
but
not
that's
gonna.
the thing. I don't think it's different because you're still a
You don't
person
think
at
it's
the end of the day. You know, if it was a relationship, then let's have the relationship. And we're talking about, being a team player and partnership. So I don't think it's any different.
Okay. No, I appreciate that. Yeah. And I was curious, right? Because I said, I know we talking, you know what I'm saying, why black people can't get along. Yeah, but I think even in this situation, this is another example, I feel like, of why we can't get along. Yeah, it's like to Vince's point, you know what I'm saying, this fella, he probably didn't even start out correctly with this female.
I agree.
But then in turn, then he decides he want to be transparent and, you know what I'm saying, want to be authentic with her. And basically she just threw it in his face.
Yep.
Like, I don't want to hear it. Like she said, I'm not your fixer. And it's like, my man didn't ask you to be his fixer. He was letting you know that he lost his gig, you know what I'm saying? And he got to figure out how to get back in the game. But it's like, she just like, just dogged my man out with it. Yeah. And I'm like, man, we can't even sit down and even, you know what I'm saying? And I know she said they was together for like 6-8 months. I think that's what she said. But it's like, we can't even have a little convo, like let you know I hit a little low point, but I'm about to work myself back in the game, like without getting your face smacked, basically. And I'm just like, damn. Like, go ahead, Coco.
But you know what? That's why I be saying sometimes. That's why sometimes I do be mad at women. Like, that's why I do get upset. You broads is messing it up for the rest of us. This is why men don't want to talk to us. This why we gotta drag everything out of them, kicking and screaming. This is why they don't want to talk. Because this is what happens when they open up and try to tell us about what's going on in their lives, how they feel about something, what they think about something. This is what happens, right? So y'all out there basically creating trauma. Because see, now he's gonna second guess if he can be that transparent or if he can be that forthcoming with women. Because he might, I don't know, depending on where he come from, right? Or how he felt about this chick or what it was. Clearly, this relationship wasn't what it was supposed to be or what he thought it was or whatever. But now, is he going to second guess when he gets with another chick how transparent he should be with her? If he can talk to her, if he can tell her things, or if he should, what should he share? What shouldn't he share? Like, what does she care? Does she care to know about what's going on in his life or not? This is the internal struggle that I know some men have. Like, can I even talk to her? Like, is she going to use it against me? Like, will she throw it in my face? Like, how safe am I to actually be transparent with this woman, right? And I just think that we can't sit up here and say we care about Black men and their mental health. We can't sit up here and say we care about our men and we understand that they're people and that they have feelings too and that they go through things too. We can't say that on the surface because it sounds good, but then when a black man does share something with you, that's how you react. Like, we can't keep asking men to share because listen, men have real, okay, let me just say this. Men don't have the problems that we have. Men have real world problems. Like, the problems that men have are like real world problems. They're problems that we can't fix. Most times when men have problems, they're not problems that we as women can fix. Yes, we can love them. We can love on them. We can nurture them. We can try to provide some comfort, but we can't fix men problems. Because the problems that men have are they're men problems, right? They are the leaders, whether we want to agree to leadership or not. They are higher in the hierarchy, whether we want to agree with that or not. They just are, right? They are front line of defense. They just are, as they should be, because they were built to be that. So when a man has a problem, it's not really a problem that you can fix, Boo Boo Kitty. You can't fix it. You can't. But if that man is secure enough in himself to actually come to you, to talk to you about it, you actually should be quiet, listen, and offer whatever you can offer. That's comfort, that's support, that's even just listening. Because you can't fix his problems, right? And this is why they don't say anything to us.
But I just thought about something too. It might have been a test to see how she gonna react.
For sure.
He might have said, okay, I might want to do something else. Let me see if she worth keeping around. It might have been a test to get her on out the way. Now she think I'm broke. Now I have to worry about hurting her feelings, yada, yada, yada. She going about her business. I can do something different.
And then he has her
People test people a lot of times just to see how they're going to react.
No, that's true. No, that's a valid point, man. And like I said, just the fact that from the man losing the job, and I said, I know we're using the content, you know what I'm saying, for the case study, but just the fact that my man is saying that he's lost his job, and then your next response to him is, now he broke. Yeah, it's just like, to your point, Vince. Yeah, that's one he probably needed to cut her loose a while ago. But listen, I'm gonna call it what it is. I know my man was getting a little something up off of her. You know what I'm saying? She probably was throwing that thing back, and he was rolling with it. And then I said, now my man came out, even if it was a test, he came out, and then she showed her true colors. So to be Boss's point, sometimes, you know what I'm saying, when they reveal themselves, that's your cue, bro. Go and get on the pot of that. So yeah, it is what it is. I'm gonna come to JR, and then I'm gonna go. I got a couple more. Go ahead, JR. You want to say something, man? JR went quiet over here. Go ahead, Joe. Then I'll take us to the next one.
To Chloe's point, real quick, you're absolutely right. Unfortunately, I mean, like I just had that recently happen to myself, and at some point, it's where you either roll with the punches, or you learn to unfortunately disassociate yourself and compartmentalize. So you separate the emotions from the logic, even though naturally you want to have that connection. So let me see how this woman responds to me actually being myself. Not like this overbearing emotional tampon on the woman, but just basic things like I lost my job today, just a reassurance, helping, not fixing anything. Nothing a woman can do to fix that. It's sort of that jet fuel, that engine, that gasoline to light himself back to go out there and get another job, a better job in most cases, because he's inspired by the woman around him. But it can be used against him. And a lot of it is used against us until and if we do find a woman that accepts us for who we are and the fact that we have emotions too, and that we're not just like these supposed stoic rocks and pillars of society 100% of the time. And so it does get disheartening when you take that test, and a lot of us don't want to do that test because we're afraid to see what's going to come up like that gentleman who may have done it as a test or not, but there's always that little bit of, okay, I'm going to say this, I'm going to reveal this, and I lost my job. Did you hold your breath? You see how they respond, and you hope that it goes well. It's like, okay, yeah, she's rocking with me. If it doesn't, which a lot of cases it doesn't, then it's kind of like, yeah, I'm going to be more reserved for the next few women that come after that. And we know we shouldn't be. We know you shouldn't be because everybody is different. Every person is different. You say don't bring your traumas into the next thing or your next whatever. But it's hard to not reflect on your past experiences if you've had a lot of unsuccessful attempts at expressing even a modicum of vulnerability. So yeah, um, that's one of the things that we deal with, and a lot of us. For me, I just take it to the gym. I take it to punching bags. I take it to just sweating it out. And if a woman insists she wants to know, it's like you probably don't really want to know what I'm going through for your own sake. If you want this relationship to stick together, but if a woman actually comes around and is like, yeah, you know what, I really do want to know, and I tell her like the deepest, darkest, and she's still there. I'm like, yeah, that's the one for me. Haven't met that one yet. So, man, that's why I look at you and Coco and Quay. I'm like, yeah, that's something now I'm hoping one day to have, but hasn't happened yet. So hanging in there.
No, I got you. I appreciate that. JR, you want to say something, man? Or you kept coming off mute, man. What's going on, man?
Yeah, sorry, now phone call. Sorry.
That's
Yeah,
all
I was
good.
say, just based on the video and the topic, let's take the that lady and that man out of it, right? But let's just apply it to the general people. Let's say the woman leaves the man because he lost his job or whatever it is, right? To the topic, as to why we can't get along, is it maybe that we don't understand women as men, and we're trying to hold their feet to the fire for them actually being them, and that's why maybe we don't understand why they're leaving us, and we are getting our feelings or whatever it is, because if that's what we're actually meant to do, and we said that that's what we're gonna do, and we lose our job, it's fair game, right? So I think it's more the question of morality, rather than is it right or wrong. If she wants to stay, she'll stay. If she doesn't want to stay, she doesn't actually have to stay, And I think if men understand that, maybe we'll probably get on very well, because then if we actually realize that, hey, if we lose our jobs, they're going to leave, maybe you're going to try and make sure that you don't lose your job as a man, maybe, And I think that's just reality where men have to accept that, rather than, I know Miss Coco took it down the route of, men's mental health and whatnot, yeah. I understand beatbox, I hear it, I understand, bro, I hear it, man. But at the same time, are we not understanding women? I don't know.
Bruh. I agree with that, except for the last part.
Wow.
I agree. No. I'm saying I agree.
Go ahead.
I'm saying that that's very insightful. The reason why I'm saying it is because I think that that's part of the reason why we don't get along. Women have not tried to understand men and how men communicate, how men see the world, the male experience, especially in this country. And I think that men haven't tried to actually understand women and how women communicate and how women see the world. And the reason why I say that is because a lot of times I hear women and they will try to make men respond in the same way that they feel a man should respond, or they're trying to make men react the way they think men should react. Or they're saying, well, why aren't men doing this and why aren't men doing that? And literally the things that they're expecting from men are not what men do. That's not how men react. That's not how men communicate. It's not how men see the world. It's not how men think. It's very feminine. So you're trying to put these feminine attributes on a man, and because he's not doing with those things, you feel that somehow he's inadequate, or he's not emotionally mature, or he doesn't know how to regulate, or whatever these terms y'all keep giving men, when the real truth is men are just being men. They're literally just being men, right? And I think that women are doing things, and outside of men understanding that women tend to be more emotional, that is one thing men will say about women. But I don't think that men understand what that means, that women come from a more emotional perspective. I don't think men truly understand what that means. They say it. Women are emotional. And the first thing they think when they think women are emotional is about how we react in a situation. Oh, she's just emotional. And then they easily write us off. So they use what they do know about us to write us off. And it's like, no, first of all, when you say a woman is emotional first, there's a lot more that goes into that than just her reaction, right? If that's her genetic makeup, then you have to understand that she's going to apply that in every area of her life. So it's going to affect her thinking, the way she carries herself, the way she communicates, everything, right? And I don't think that we take the time to understand each other. And I think that's another reason why we can't get along. We're putting what our expectations on men, and our expectations for men are based off what we think and how we see the world, and vice versa.
Right. No, that's real. All right, let me go to this next one. I got another one down here.
So I went to Home Depot to pick up a trash can that I ordered for my mom's bathroom. I'm currently renovating her bathroom. And then as I'm walking out of Home Depot, there's a guy at the end of the line. And he's like, "You have a great day, beautiful." I turn around and smile at him and I say, "Thank you. You too, sir." I'm already at the store at this point, and he turns around and says, "Come here." So I turn around and I look at him. I say, "You come here." So he looks at me and he's like, "Oh, really?" I'm like, "Yes." He's like, "No, like come here real quick." So I just take I take a step forward towards him. And he's like, "My name is such and such. You're so beautiful." I'm like, "Thank you." He's like, "What's your name?" I say my name. He goes, "Take my number down." I say, "You take my number down." So he's like, "Oh, you feisty." And I'm just like, "You want my number or what?" And then he's like, "We could do this all day. Take my number down." And I said, "No, we cannot." I turned around, I said, "You have a good day, sir." And I walked in my car and drove off. What's going on, man? Like,
The ending was just so abrupt. Is that it?
Can you rerun that? I'm sorry. Please rerun that real quick.
No, I got you.
so I went to Home Depot to pick up a trash can that I ordered for my mom's bathroom. I'm currently renovating her bathroom. And then as I'm walking out of Home Depot, there's a guy at the end of the line. And he's like, "You have a great day, beautiful." I turn around and smile at him and I say, "Thank you. You too, sir." I'm already at the store at this point, and he turns around and says, "Come here." So I turn around and I look at him. I say, "You come here." So he looks at me and he's like, "Oh, really?" I'm like, "Yes." He's like, "No, like come here real quick." So I just take I take a step forward towards him. And he's like, "My name is such and such. You're so beautiful." I'm like, "Thank you." He's like, "What's your name?" I say my name. He goes, "Take my number down." I say, "You take my number down." So he's like, "Oh, you feisty." And I'm just like, "You want my number or what?" And then he's like, "We could do this all day. Take my number down." And I said, "No, we cannot." I turned around, I said, "You have a good day, sir." And I walked in my car and drove off. What's going on, man? Like,
Okay. So let me see. Donovan said, let's see, miscommunication 101. He also said posturing wars.
Right.
Huh. Okay. I hear that right there.
But
He also
why you
said,
don't tell a woman to come here though?
Yeah, I
You don't do that. Like knowing I'm being so for real for a minute. I'm not even trying to be like, I'm just being so for real. Knowing the way things are right now. Why y'all telling women to come to you?
To see if she listens.
Yeah, but I don't know.
But given how the
That's
climate
perfect.
is
No,
now,
you know
it's a
what,
little
JR?
weird.
You know what, JR? That's perfect. I appreciate you saying that. I understand that, but it's too soon for you to test me like that because I don't know you. You're a stranger. So I understand why you would test, but I just think that that's too soon because I might fail that. And I might actually want to talk to you because I don't know you. Like, I'm a stranger to you. You're a stranger to me. It's a little too early for you to be commanding me. I haven't even met you yet. I don't even know your name yet. Like, it's too soon for you to feel like you can give me a command to test me. Like, I don't know you. For you to expect a woman that you do not know to just listen to you. She don't know you. It's weirdos out here. You might not even be a weirdo, but she don't know you. So you're telling her to come to me. She like, come to you? Like, what? I'm not doing that. I would never tell a daughter of mine to respond to a man that tells her to come to him. I would tell her, no, you don't. I don't care how grown you are. You better not go to that man.
Now, I understand, Miss Coco. Now, I come to you.
Who's in charge?
Wait, JR said if he come to you, so okay, so JR, you saying when she said no, you come to me and you go? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
I don't think there should be a conversation. Okay, so I don't think there should be a conversation about who comes to who. If you're the man and you're in the male position and you see me and you are interested in me, why aren't you automatically approaching me? Why are we even having an exchange? I'm not saying, okay, when I say approach, I don't mean swoop in like a vulture. I mean, why, you know what I'm saying? Even if y'all had a safe distance, because obviously he's saying come to me because they're not face to face, which is cool. Keeping a safe distance actually isn't necessarily a bad idea. But if she does respond though, like when you say, hey, what's your name? And she seems favorable to respond to you and give her name, then that might let you know that she's okay with you talking to her. So now you know you can walk up to her. But if you ask for her name and she's like standoffish, then obviously it doesn't even need to go any further. But if she's willing to give you her name, then she probably don't mind you coming up to talk to her because she done gave you her name. You see what I'm saying? Like, I guess I'm saying that I understand women are being weird about men approaching them these days, and I get that, so I don't blame y'all for being hesitant. But then you also have to know that women are going to be a little hesitant too because there's a lot of weird stuff going on. So it's a bad test to ask a woman to come to you when you just meet her. That's a bad test because a lot of women are going to feel that. I'm not coming to you. I'm not.
But she did step to him and kept the conversation going. Kept the conversation going. So then he's like, hey, take down my number. Then she's like, no, you take down my number. It's just...
well, because she...
I understand
to be fair, I mean...
But she's given, just how... I mean, she presents feminine, but I'm renovating my mama's bathroom. I'm going to get a trash can. That's kind of... That's masculine.
I mean, so in this case, I agree with you. She did present some masculine traits. Okay, I will agree with you. But I'm speaking in general, right? Because I'm using this as a case study, right? Like, because I've seen this firsthand. A man like come at a woman complete way left, and he got an unfavorable response from her, and he probably could have got a completely different response from her if he wouldn't have did that. And so I'm just like, you might have missed an opportunity just because of the way you approached it. Like she was a bit more masculine, but I guess I'm from the school of if a man is interested in a woman enough to make contact with her, then you see that through. So if you saw her and you were interested in her, right? Why you didn't just take her phone number? Like, why didn't you say, what's your phone? Or put your number in my phone, or whatever the case may be. Like, why didn't you take the initiative? You already took the initiative to ask her name. Mm-hmm. Why didn't you just say, okay, well, put your number in my phone? Because you're taking charge, right? Like, but you're taking charge in a way that doesn't put her on the defense. As opposed to you come here, that was the first one. Come to me, that was the first one. Then after you come to me, then you say, take my number. And now she like, you wanted me to come to you first. Now you telling me to take your number. Like,
he's the one that initiated it. So he's trying to flip it. He's trying to play. So I get what he's trying to do.
Number,
you wanted me. I didn't initiate it with you. You initiated it with me. Why you got me doing all the work?
Hey,
it's different because if he's the one that's initiating, then he should just follow through on the initiation as the leader. Which makes sense. But what he was trying to do, which is what I've done in the past, because it's childish, is you put them in a position where you make it seem like they're the one pursuing you. because maybe he's afraid of rejection. Maybe he's afraid of actually leading and playing games. And it can work if a woman has a level of insecurity about herself and she's like, oh, okay, I guess I will be the one that chases. But generally speaking, 90%, 95% of every relationship I had with a woman has worked when I was the one who, let me get your number. Let me be the first to text and call. And I'm moving things forward. I'm making things happen. It's just easier that way. And women feel much more safer, actually, when they're under a man who knows what he wants to do. Because he initially said what he wanted to do, calling her beautiful, what's your name? That obviously you're not just making small talk. You want something more. You want to initiate something. Now you want to flip it and make it seem as if you want her to now be the initiator. It's a backwards thinking type of mentality that very rarely works unless you're a celebrity like Michael Jackson. Yeah, you can be like, hey, you take my number down, and yeah, they'll follow you. Then you have status, you have all this money, but you're a regular guy thinking that you Chris Brown talking about you take my number down, dude.
So Joe, I'm glad you went down that road. So that's where I'm going with this, because I'm trying to understand what's happening. So why is this changing? So how this used to go is, if you told the young lady she was beautiful, she responded to that. You know what I'm saying? You asked her what her name was. You know what I'm saying? You told her, you introduced yourself. Hey, I'm John Doe. You know what I'm saying? What's your name? She came back and said, I'm Jane Doe. One of the next steps was either a little small conversation or you was asking for the number.
Yep.
Now in this video, now it's you take my number. And I'm trying to understand, why is this changing? So we talking about black folks not being able to get along. Why is this happening? Yeah, why are men today trying to flip this process when this process has always yielded results? Like, why are we doing this? Let me go to Vince. Why is this happening?
I'm gonna give you a reason, because the same rules gonna see. You talking about a time when people wasn't playing no games out here. They wasn't going on dates for food. They wasn't using the motherfucking got baby daddy on the floor at home. But since you gonna take me out, so it's a difference now. So you got to see if this girl really like you, cause she'll spin you around for months. I've been there. I ain't gonna sit up here in front like I've been there. So you got to see. Okay, I talk to her. She get my number. Then I know that she's interested in me.
So I
to a certain extent.
No, I agree. I agree with Vince. I agree with Vince on that.
She can get your number and it doesn't matter, and she won't call you.
Hold on.
That doesn't mean nothing. That doesn't mean nothing.
No, hold on, Vince. I want to have this real quick. So even back then, right? So you said we was dealing, you know what I'm saying, we was doing this at a different time, right?
Mm-hmm.
So even back in the day, because we not that far off in age, man. So even back in the day, even when chicks was playing, we still was asking for that number. We still didn't try to see if she was on no funny stuff. Like, we wasn't doing none of that. We still was going to get that number. If it was on a piece of paper, if we was, you know what I'm saying, putting it in the beepers. I mean, you remember all this. We was putting in the little StarTech. Like, we was still going to get that number, regardless if we weren't worried about if she was playing no games or not. We was going to get that number because we had our mindset and we was locked in and we was going to go get it. That's what we did. So why is it changing now? Because girls been playing games. They've been using cats. They've been going out with cats that they didn't want to go out with. They've been spending dudes' money that they didn't care about. Like, this stuff ain't new. But why, as the men, why are we doing this new stuff now in 2025?
Man, sir, it's a lot of different reasons. Number one, I think
hold on, Joe. Let me. We old school for a hot minute right here, because I said me and Vince, we done spend some time in floods. He know what it is. What's going on, man?
I just think it's still a little different now. It's still a little different, because back in the day, you still had relationships. You talk on the phone. It's a little bit different now because we're so casual now. You used to go on a date, you slow dance, you get to know somebody. You hitting on the first date now. You hit not even knowing the chick's name. You used to have to put a little effort. You got to take me out to Red Lobster at least a couple times. You had to meet her parents. You had to meet her mama. I ain't gonna say her parents because some of them did that. You had to meet her mama. Her mama took down your license plate. Okay, you take care of my daughter. Now it's real casual out here, man.
Okay, I'm just checking, man, because I'm
Real
like,
casual.
fellas was, you know what I'm saying, we was ironclad back then. I'm trying to figure out what's all this flipping and flopping we doing now. I ain't never told no chick to take my number. I'm like, I was getting her number because at the end of the day, as the guy, you want to have that control in your hands. I want your number.
That's
Yeah,
true.
so I'm like,
But
now with dudes flipping it up, I'm like, this ain't adding up to me. So I'm like, what is going on in these new situations?
And
And
then it is a lot of gaming too. It's a lot of gaming. You see, you understand when we were young, we wanted to go out, we wanted to spend some time with the young lady. Sometimes it's just to see, can I get her number?
Right.
I got somebody, but she cute. Or maybe I could keep her on the side if something that. It's so much messiness out here in these streets now, Quay. It's just we wasn't as messy back in the day.
That's
we
real.
wasn't that messy. I mean, they real messy now. Have a whole situation at the crib and have 3-4 dudes. Or a dude have a baby mama just had a baby and it's messy, man. Come on,
no,
now.
that's real. That's real. That's real right there. B-Bites.
A lot of
You
guys
trying to say something, or Joe? Either one of y'all, go ahead.
You go ahead, B-Bites.
My bad. I'll try to be quick, Joe. I promise. So yeah, I agree with what Vince initially said, that like a lot of guys want to make sure that the woman that they're going to pursue or that likes them or whatever really likes them like that. So that's kind of why you're seeing the things you're seeing. Like my own personal experience, I've never really cold talked to a woman. I never really like. I've got to be real sure that she likes me like that before I even talk to her. Like we're in a time and place where men can be creeps, can be weirdos. We're at a time and a place where a lot of women don't want men just walking up on them like that. So I'm going to be very cautious. Like my wife, she made it very clear that she liked me before I talked. So she gave me the green light. It was easy. I mean, and in this instance, I agree with Coco most of what you said, Ms. Coco, because listen, man, like if you say what you said and you got a positive response, just go up and talk to her, bro. Like I don't even know, like you're just fumbling the bag to me. Like she said, "Oh hi," and did a little step. Just walk up to her, and that's that. Like there's nothing that, like playing that game tit for tat is childish and stupid. Like just you said the initial thing, get a number and roll, bro. Like you messed up. So, and I think she was. I don't know. I get real because a lot of guys do stuff like this, and it's like, well, these women are masculine. I don't give like. I guess if she's masculine, fine, but dude, like, I don't know. Like, I think he messed up. I'm on her side. I'm sorry. I'm actually.
I agree on this one.
Yeah, he gave her. If she gave him, I mean, what else could you possibly? That was the best layup that he had. You know, she smiled. She gave her a compliment. If a woman didn't want to have a conversation with you after you give her a compliment, you know right away. But she kept the conversation was keeping going. Okay, cool. What's the natural result? Well, let me get your number. That's just naturally what a man would want to do because he initiated. So he wants things to keep moving forward. He's allowing it to move forward. So it's not like he has to struggle to get her to follow. So the fact that he was trying to do an extra test of control, it wasn't like, oh, I want to see if she follows me. No, I think it was more so control in his own ego. Let me see if she just bends to my will. Let me see if I say jump off a cliff, she'll do it. So it didn't have to be that way. So it always started off toxic on a very bad foot because of him, not because of her. And some people can say, well, she's masculine. Yeah, I didn't see that at all. I can see why she probably got irritated at the end. I get it. Like, dude, like, what do you mean come here? I'm already here. All you have to do is just step up to why we have to play these power games. Okay, that's the first issue. Second issue. Wait, well, why do I have to wait? Hold on. Don't you said you approached me, so you should get my number, but now you want to okay, now you're trying to play I'm gonna go ahead and back out. So she's a gorgeous woman. Woman was beautiful. I mean, most men would look at her and be like, yeah, okay, yeah, I would like to talk to her. And I know it's probably eating him up inside, just watching her walking away. I bet he's reflecting on like, damn, why didn't I just take her number and just stop being a dummy? Stop trying to show and flex and oh man, this you lick your wounds and you keep moving forward.
Yeah, and that's why I think I think it's a valid video to the conversation. Yeah, we're talking about us not being able to get along, and I'm like, sometimes I wonder, do some of the fellas out here, do you realize, you might just be turning these chicks off, man.
Stupid things.
Yeah, I'm like, real talk. Like, you just because you over here switching it up. And I said, that's why, you know what I'm saying, I had to bring up the old school ways. It's just like, because you over here switching up the game, now she feel like she got to challenge your masculinity. Yeah, now she got to sit here and say, no, you know what I'm saying, you take my number. Like, now she got to challenge what you're doing. And it's just like, had you just approached this young lady like a man, gave her the compliment, initiated the conversation, she responded to you, you went on and sealed the deal and asked for the number. She's smiling. She's smiling while she doing the video. So I know she wasn't on, you know what I'm saying, on no resistance stuff to you, bro. She was actually playing along. So it's like, man, go ahead and do what you do, seal the deal and get the number. And do something with the number after you get it. But it's like, we over here trying to flip it up, trying to do this other stuff. And it's like, now the lady, basically, she got to call your bluff. And it's just like, that ain't even have to be the outcome. You could have had that number, bro. She could have went on and worked on that toilet, and you could have been calling her up. Have me come over to help you with that toilet. And boom, you was in that thing.
Hey, I got a question now.
Go ahead.
I don't know if y'all caught this. She called him sir. So you think he might have been a little older gentleman?
He could have.
I think some women say sir. Okay. But some women say sir. Some women say sir in a context where they're reprimanding a man. When women are kind of like basically talking about something that they feel a man did wrong, sometimes we'll say sir.
Sometimes y'all say that because y'all want to say daddy too. So you know.
That's true. That's why you need the context. Oh my God! It can be used multiple ways.
She's like, "Thank you, sir." That's like a thank you, old deacon in the church.
This is very true. But you know what? To this point that I don't know if you made it, B-Boxer, or Vince somebody made it. I'm sorry, y'all. I forgot who. But that title, that I don't know how I'm trying to say it, but basically we are quick to put the masculine label on women. And don't get me wrong, the whole Home Depot fixing toilet thing did give a little bit of masculine, it did. But at the same time, maybe like she's the only child and her mama had an issue and she's like, I'm the only one that can do it. So I'm here at Home Depot trying to figure out how to fix this toilet. I don't know. But so that did give a little bit of masculine, but at the same time, as a woman, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. It is what it is. If a man ain't around, you got to do what you got to do. So it might not have been, but we do have this tendency, that's the word I was looking for, to want to say masculine. But in this case, I agree with B-Boxer. I don't know if this was an issue of her masculinity versus her femininity. I think this was just, she was kind of turned off by the way he approached. And even though he didn't completely approach the best way, she still kind of was receptive to it a bit. I think that it was just that last part where he didn't want to just ask for her number and just take her number that was like the nail in the coffin. Like, I think that she might have, you know what I'm saying? Like, she might have let the other part go or whatever. And I just feel like we really don't know. We talked about this on the show before. We really don't know how to communicate with each other. Like, we don't even know how to approach anymore. Like, and this is bad. This is just proving the point of we can't get along, because let's just start with basic courtesy and like respect. Like, that's so basic. Like, we can't even give each other we're so busy in competition, and men will say they're not competing with women, but this particular exchange says something different. So I don't want to hear y'all anymore telling me that men are not in competition with women. Say you're not in competition with women, but there are obviously men out here that are in competition with women.
Miss Coco, can I add on to that? Yeah, like,
go ahead, JR.
No, obviously, like, you made a great point there, right? And obviously, that's what I want to go back to the point that I made earlier, right? When Mr. Price obviously responded, and the point that I was trying to allude to was, and you made a point was, we saying yes to the wrong things and no to the right things or whatever, you know. So it's like the point I was trying to make was men need to be men again. That's the point I was trying to make, you know, where it's like stand your ground and be a man. And obviously the video just kind of, you know, lined up well, right? Where in the room, I felt like the men weren't trying to be men at the right time when they had to be men and stand up like, no, you know? But they're saying yes to the wrong mindset. And in this instance, instead of being a man, you don't want to be the like, it's not making sense. So the men's got to rise, man.
Yeah, no, that's a valid point, JR. And that's where I was going with it, man. It's just like some of these things, essentially we giving up our power. Yep, and I don't think we understand that. And then two, when we as men, let's just keep it a buck, as men, when we give up our power, let me just be honest, women are turned off by it. Yep, they turned off by it because that's not what they expect. Let's say this young lady, going back to the video, this young lady expected my man, once he engaged on her like that, if he gonna take the time to compliment her, you know what I'm saying, to start up this little conversation, she's expecting, let me just keep it a buck. She's expecting that this dude is gonna ask for her number. It's really that simple, because he wouldn't be complimenting if he wasn't about to ask for something. Because I mean, sometimes I agree with the ladies sometimes on that point when a dude opens up some of these conversations because he wants something. Yeah, no, that's a fact. Yeah, he wants your number. So she knew that. So the fact that he come to her, then gonna tell her to take his number, that ain't sit well with her. Let's just be honest. She probably, let me just keep it a buck, she probably dried right on up like, here this fool go. No, you didn't just tell me to take your number, but then you just engaged on me. You just hollered at me. What you want me to take your number for? You supposed to be taking my number. Yeah, but see, this is a problem, because I said we are veering out of our natural state as men. Yeah, we doing things that we don't typically do, and this is what invites the interpretation of somebody being soft or somebody, what we like to say out here today, somebody being sassy and all this other stuff. I know the interpretation is not accurate, but this is what opens up that door. Yeah, because we doing some things that we don't typically do. Yeah, it's almost like in some of these situations as men, it's like we making excuses. And it's like we don't have to do that. If you're going to get a number, go get the number. If she tell you no, so be it. You have a nice day. Like Coco say, move on to the other woman who's willing to give you the number. Yeah, but it's like now as men, we want to tiptoe. I got to see if she gonna care about me. I got to see if she gonna be, no, just get the number, bruh. Because that's what we do. Yep, all the numbers you get, they're not gonna turn into something good. Let's just be honest. Fellas done gotten plenty of numbers over the years, and all of them wasn't worth keeping. Let's just be honest. Yeah, so we ain't got to get the tiptoeing now at the Home Depot, and you already got something working for you. You at the Home Depot. So she know you might be good with your hands. She know you know how to fix some stuff if you up at the Home Depot. So she probably that's already working in your favor. Yeah, then you get to the finish line talking about take my number, and she like, hold on, man, you done turned me all off. Like, for real, bruh. So yeah, I just think as men, we got to keep perspective around this stuff, and we got to stay true to being men. Yeah, but I think that will help us get along a little better if we stay true to who we supposed to be.
Even if a woman initiates, from my experience, they can be the one saying, hello, I think you're handsome. That happens often. They still want the man to then follow through, because it still can't be done. Well, let me get your number and all this. It's rare when it happens, but 9 times out of 10, when it's happened to me, it's always been, okay, I've shown I'm interested in him. Now I'm basically giving the reins back to this man to take control, because him taking control means he's interested in me. Things can only move forward if he wants it to go that way. So even if they momentarily take control and say, hey, I like you, you're handsome, da da da, it's like they're passing off a baton. Okay, now are you interested in me as if you were talking to me first? Okay, cool. So it's rare that it works out where the woman approaches, the woman says something, and she's leading the whole interaction. Even if she's leading you to the bedroom, she still wants you to take control. Like a lot of guys just kind of like I want to be the dead fit. No, you can't just, you gotta I'm trying not to be vulgar, but you gotta be the one to move things. You gotta move on to bend things. She's not gonna, oh, okay, so I'm just gonna help you do. No, they're not. They're gonna be, give you a little hint, give you a little clue, and then it's kind of like, it's easy from there. I think the problem is that even when it's easy, when it's a layup, men still find a way to fumble it. And I can even say that for myself. I've done it before. Like, damn, that was an easy layup. Right? It's not like you have to shoot from the half point line. That's when you're cold approaching and she's not giving you no signal. She's bluffing you off and you still trying to approach and she's not into it. Yeah, forget about it. Okay. But when she's just smiling, looking at you, turning her hair, okay, cool. What else do you want from her? You want her to do how much more? You want her to just put the basket right beneath your feet and open up the net till it's like 80 foot wide and put the ball in. It's all right, it's right there. Take the layup, call it a day. And a lot of men are afraid. I personally think it's fear. It's fear and it's a willingness to give away that power, that their authority, and it's a genuine disgust from women when they see a man giving away their authority. And it can be as simple as take my number down. And we might not see it that way. Oh, I'm just giving, yeah, I want to see. Yeah, but it's like, oh, that's like, okay, that's a precedent. If you're willing for me to take the lead in this little thing, what else do I have to take the lead in the future if we get together? The house, if someone comes and rob the house or something, money matters. I have to take control in every single. So it's like they're projecting way into the future what can happen, and they're not wrong about that. They're not wrong about that because that little thing you can't take control of, putting her number in your phone, but you have to make sure that you get validation that she does it. No. So a woman should follow that first instinct from the very beginning and be like, nah, that ain't the one for me.
Right. No, that's facts, man. That's facts. I say she wouldn't be off if she started feeling that way. Just seeing some of these things, you know what I'm saying, up front. So yeah, I said, I think as men, we got to get real about some of this stuff. And let me say this too, because I'm gonna get ready to wrap us up, take some closing, we're gonna get up out of here. And I feel like this needs to be said because I'm seeing some things as we sitting here having this conversation. And I'm just gonna go there. We got a couple. We got a couple folks in these comments, man. Telling on themselves. We got some folks in these comments, man, that I can tell have had some bad interactions with some females. I can tell been in some interesting situations. I'm gonna say this, and then we're gonna take some closing, man. For some of the fellas out here, man, sit down and get yourself straightened out. Yeah, do whatever work you got to do. Whatever, self-review, self-assessment, accountability checks. But based on some of the stuff that I'm seeing, and I'm only saying this because I said I observe and I can see easy changes. Yeah, some of this stuff that the fellas is taking on, man, y'all got to fix some of this stuff and get it together, man. Yeah, part of the reason why we can't get along with some of these females out here is because some of y'all is just off. Yep, and what you project is turning some of these chicks off. Yep, and they don't want to have nothing to do with you. Yep, they don't want to have nothing to do with you. Yep, so this is just my little 2 cents to the fellas, man. Sit down, man. Get yourself together, man. Get your mind right. Leave these little scallywags alone. Stop running through chicks. That's another thing. Fellas don't understand how that must be damaging you. Stop running through these scallywag chicks. Stop traumatizing yourself because it be coming out in some of these comments. Yeah, some of the things that you be saying about these females and these women and leave these women alone, all this mess. It's just like y'all got to sit down and focus, get yourselves straightened out, get yourselves together, get your mind right. Because there's supposed to be a natural balance between men and women. Yeah, but for some of my fellas, if you so far off in left field because some of them done did you bad and you done traumatized yourself and you're not looking at yourself first to make sure you on point before you even get engaging with these females, then it ain't gonna work. Yep, it's not going to improve, but you got to look at yourself first. Yeah, it's not always the females. Yep, they're not all crazy. They're not all doing something to you. Sometimes it's you doing stuff to yourself, making bad decisions, entertaining the scallies. Like sometimes it's you. Yep, sometimes you not leading. Yeah, your leadership skills may be trash. Like we got to own some of this stuff. Sometimes you ain't got no game. Like sometimes we got to own this stuff. Yep, sometimes you just don't know how to properly talk to females. And that may be a reason why it ain't working. But yeah, some of the stuff I see out here, man, as an older fella, some of the stuff I see, man, we got to make some changes as fellas, man. Yeah, but maybe that will help improve some of these situations. Yeah, but I'm not giving these females no pass because we know it's a problem. But as fellas, you got to look at yourself first because at the end of the day, I'm a firm believer in fellas set the tone. Yep, so if the tone is all jacked up from the beginning, you got to look at yourself. And I'm just going to leave it like that. But I'm going to take some closing, man. We're going to get on up out of here, man. I'm coming across the top and the bottom and we gone. Coco, what you want to say before we get out of here?
I would just say, why can't we get along? I think we, I just think we stopped caring. I think overall we just stopped. We're very apathetic to each other. Women, and I'll speak to the women. Like, I don't think women care anymore about what men want, what men think, how men feel, what a man's experience is. And I'm speaking in general, obviously, but I don't think women care anymore. And I think, men, because they recognize that women don't care anymore, men are feeling like, well, why should I care? You know what I mean? Like, why should I care about what you're talking about? Whatever you're talking about, bump what you're talking about. I don't care about it. I don't even want to hear it. When we get to the point where we're saying, leave these women alone, and, women are saying, I don't need a man. I don't want a man, I think that's we literally can't. You know what's interesting? I'm going to actually use y'all statistic that y'all love using all the time. If it's the minority of men who are creating all of the out of wedlock babies, right? Then it's crazy to me because those are the men that's not saying they're going to leave women alone. That's crazy to me. It's the ones that really should leave women alone. Like, those are the men really should leave women alone, but they won't. But it's men that are saying, I want to be responsible. I want a better life. I want, it's those men, the one with, the just better head on their shoulders that are saying, I'm gonna leave women alone. And it's just crazy to me because I think that unfortunately what's happening on both sides is women are using that minority of men to determine how they feel about all men. And men are using the worst women, the worst among us, to determine how they're going to feel about all women. And that's why we can't get along. That's a big part of the reason why we can't get along. That's why I argued so hard at the beginning. Because we're looking at the worst of us. The women are looking at the worst men, and the men are looking at the worst women, and we're saying, this is why I don't fool with y'all.
That's real. That's real right there. Appreciate that closeout. Big Boss, it's on you, man.
Yeah. I guess I'll do the men because Chloe did the women, and also because I responded to that comment you kind of addressed, Mr. Price, because even though I stated what I stated in the first video and started a firestorm, I do agree with the sentiment. I got a big problem with men always saying it's somebody else and not themselves. I always have a problem with. I tell guys who think that way, like, You're just lame. I'm sorry. Like, some of the things that women say ain't wrong. When women say, "Hey, there's a lot of guys who are lame out here," I don't disagree. I'm like, yeah, it's true. There's a lot of guys who don't know how to speak. They can't look into your eyes. That's a problem too. Where I'm like, hey, look at me when I'm talking to you. Like a little bit. I mean, maybe if you're autistic, that's another conversation, right? But Jesus, look at me. Have some spine, something. And those conversations are really odd because it's always women this, feminism that, this, that, and the third. Just like I say to women, some women can't compete. Some of y'all men can't compete. It don't matter if you have money. It doesn't matter if you have status. You can still be a Shannon Sharp. Lame as all get out, having to get OnlyFans models, getting caught up. So I'm sorry, man. I got a real problem with men like the commenter before. Like, okay, you can leave women alone, but probably what happened is what happened in the second video. A lot of guys are willing victims, and they get caught up with these women who are bad people, and then say all women are like this. I'm like, that's just not true. You just can't compete. Maybe whores are your lane. Maybe really bad women are your lane. Just like I said before a couple of weeks ago, Pookie is your lane to the ladies. Some men, some of your lanes, you got a trick. Good luck.
That's real. That's real. Appreciate that closeout. Cole, you still there?
Yes, I'm still here.
All right, you want to say anything before we get out of here?
Yes. So I'll keep it short. In relation to the topic, why black men and black women can't get along, I think it's communication. And again, I think we're each communicating different things, but I feel like nobody's asking the question like, what did you mean by that? Or if that's not happening, then just the other side just isn't receptive to the question when it's being asked. So I think someone mentioned miscommunication 101, but it keeps happening, and I I don't know where to go from here. So for me, it's like just entertain the people that have the communication. Like and Beatboxer said, some people that can compete have the certain understanding of how things are supposed to be when it comes to communication. I mean, that's really who I think people just gonna have to interact with, and people that can't do that just gonna have to move around. So
okay, straight like that, straight like that. Appreciate that closeout right there. JR, it's on you, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, great conversation once again. Thanks for having me on, chopping up with the panel. Yeah, like Miss Cole said, communication, right? Like we've all been saying, like if both people sit down at the table and work it out, we're gonna get somewhere. And I know what Miss Cole was, fighting against earlier in the sense of, it's not all women, right? Yeah, I've been in 2 relationships, and there was 2 good relationships, and I think with men, it's a case of you need to have experience with women. Now, I don't mean in terms of sex or whatever it is, but you need to, be able to communicate well. And if you're able to do that, and you're able to articulate yourself well to women, they'll be able to understand what it is, what you're saying, and they won't be running away from you where you're creepy and whatnot. And, be a man, because that's what women want. And we've said it, in the last couple of weeks and whatnot, and we mentioned it previously as well. And I said to Miss Coco, like, unfortunately, the men have also become the women of the today. And Beatbox just highlighted it, complaining, this is that, X, Y, Z. And I said, we're also playing into what they actually want now, the high powers. And it's not helping no one. Hence why we keep saying we need to come back together and actually figure it out for ourselves, because ain't nobody going to do that for us. We need to care about ourselves. And once we care about ourselves as individuals in a healthy way, not in a selfish way, but in a healthy way, we're able to feed that positive energy out there to people. And once again, that comes in the form of communication and actually just being nice to people, you know. And once we get there, the future generations, hopefully, will be in a better place. Thank you.
No problem, man. Appreciate that closeout right there. Well, man, shout out to my panel, man. Shout out to Coco, Beatboxer, Cole, JR. Joe was on here earlier. Vince was on here. Appreciate y'all holding me down on the panel, man. And shout out to everybody in the comments, man. If you haven't already, man, smash that like button. Likes are free. Likes are low effort. Smash that like button for us, man. And also hit that subscribe if you haven't already. But man, this is